Badoop, check, check. Okay, I think we're all good. Hello everybody, welcome on. I am actually live streaming on youtube.com/Tiffany Gordon Cosplay, and that is where I am reading chat. So if you leave Instagram and TikTok, go to YouTube. That is where I will be answering questions, and yeah, so. And for those on YouTube, welcome, welcome! Glad to have you back on the stream today. If you are new to the channel, welcome. My name is Tiffany of Tiffany Gordon Cosplay, and I'm a full-time costume and prop fabricator as well as educator here on YouTube. And this is our weekly live crafting streams here that I do, where it's me working on whatever I'm working on at the time. And today we're going to be doing more commission work for Sir Adam, who's actually in chat. For Riley, so yes. Today we're going to be working on the Junker Queen knife. It looks very silly right now, but you'll see what happens after. As well as a little bit on the axe. So yes, but hello to Wizard, Adam, Crazy Monster Boss, Real, and anybody else that is watching, lurking, or watching the video after. Hello, hello, and don't forget to like this video while it is live, as well as join our community and subscribe to the channel. It is free. If you'd like to show any financial support, you can always become a member here on YouTube, and that'll get you access to a lot of my cosplay tutorials, early access, as well as some discount codes for my website and some other cool stuff. So yes, but yeah, so I am still behind working on these commissions, and it's really figuring out the weather here in Nebraska. It has been very, very cold, and even though I have my little Dexter paint-proof room downstairs, it's just the process of heating up that room and learning that even when it's, you know, negative outside, it takes hours and hours to heat up that room, and it's just not worth it. So I'm trying to figure out the balance. Also, paint is not drying as fast because it is cold, so I've been trying some other drying methods, and hopefully, cross your fingers, it all works out okay, and we will see it with this. There's Hoku. Hi, I was just talking to you. So, yes. But, yeah, so the knife is now officially painted and ready to remove all of the masked off taping areas and do some detail paints. I did also realize that, I changed the design of the blade a tiny bit. It won't be noticeable too much, but I didn't realize that until I was like painting the last coat, and it's like, oh, yeah, and I'll explain that in a bit. But yeah, I've got the knife, update on the axe. The axe head so far, as well as the handle. I've only done so far the red part and the blue part are done painted, and then I've got these, so we'll have to mask those off as well as here, and then I continue painting the rest of the silver parts. So yeah, and I've been using, oh, thank you for subscribing to the channel, welcome to the community. I've been using a lot of the new Cratex Colors paint they sent me, and I definitely want to do a lot of samples with them and redo all of my sampling going forward. And I'll show you what I used to use. So we made these when I first got Createx stuff, all of my swatches, and they are wonderful for knowing exactly what color of the paint it is. And yeah, I have so many stuff now, like different paint colors, that I just have to redo all of it. So we'll be doing that at some point down the line. So yeah. I'm so far, I am far from Texas now, being in Nebraska, so yeah. Where's my sister? My sister doesn't live with me. She's in Texas, so yeah. She's got her own stuff with college. But let's go ahead and start removing this. Make sure that's correct. The colors for this camera are a little off today. I couldn't balance it correctly, but oh well. So let me get this set up real quick, because of course there will be a tutorial. I actually released to our members the making tutorial for the knife already, and then once I'm done with this, I'll be doing a painting one. And if you don't know, all of my cosplay tutorials get released to my members here on YouTube 3 to 6 months in advance before the public gets to see it. So if you want to see it early and support financially, you can. If not, then you can wait a few months and watch it for free too. So yeah. How am I today? I'm doing good. I'm feeling so much better. I'm no longer sick, which is great. And yeah. It's been nice to, like, I still have a tiny bit of a runny nose every now and then, but it's nowhere near like it was before. So actually, I want to redo downward. Sorry. There. Awkwardly, angly, downward-ish. Okay, there we go. So let's hope for good results. But yeah, with airbrush painting, you basically have to mask off every single layer. Otherwise, you're at risk of the paint, because airbrush painting is a mist, it getting onto other surfaces. And the one, like, I never really have issues with paint peeling, but because of the different temperatures here and having to do a different drying method, where I've been putting it in front of, because it's cold, my heater, because it blows air and it's here. The problem with that is it kind of heats up your tape adhesive. So far it looks like it's okay, but I was afraid that some of the tape adhesive would come off or peel up some of the paint, so yeah. You're good? Good, glad to hear, glad to hear. Yeah, I've been busy just painting, really. It's taking a lot longer than it should, at least where it used to in Texas, where I could paint like this whole thing pretty much in a day. It's now taking a few days. Yeah, because airbrush painting, you can't paint when it's cold, really. Like, the paint, it just freezes up in your airbrush gun and clogs it. For best results, you always want it to be above 65 degrees Fahrenheit. And so trying to keep my airbrush room at a constant temperature without exploding my place as well has been fun, because airbrush paint actually can ignite and catch on fire, certain types. And all of the metallics, at least with Createx Colors line, does have a risk for that. So I can't heat up my room when I'm painting with metallics. So it's a fun little balance of doing everything. But yeah, so far, looks like we got a little bit of a paint bleed there, but not too much. No, the issue is, so the paint room is in the basement, and the basement isn't a furnished basement really. It has one heated vent, and it doesn't go into the Dexter room because the Dexter room is a bunch of walls I put up. But in general, it is like when it's negative degrees outside or below 20, it's a basement. It's cold. So it's around 45 degrees when I wake up when it's in the tens or like the single digits. So it's just a matter of like keeping it. And then with airbrush painting, I do have to have my vent so that way all of the paint fumes go out of the room. So every time I do that, it also is pulling all of the heat out. So it's this constant balance of I've been having to paint, and then of course you want to wear your respirator when painting just because you don't want to breathe in any of the fumes. But I'll paint for probably about 5 minutes and then I turn on the vent. Because if I have the vent on while I'm painting, the vent's a little strong, which is a good thing, but it also pools the paint while I'm painting just a tiny bit too much, and it also pools all of my heat. So if I have it constantly on, then it just makes the room a lot colder. And I'll say I'm only doing that for for airbrush painting, where for Plasti Dip, I'm leaving it on the whole time, just because that fume is even worse. So, but I imagine it will change slightly when the temperature rises again, so yeah. Write it down! Daniel! Thank you for the 13 months of being a supporter here. I pledge my loyalty to Supreme Leadership with the continued membership. All hell chess. Thank you. Also, you were correct on the one message from Instagram. I'll message you later about that because it popped up on my other phone. So, I don't know. But yeah. I will write that down. Yes, I need to write it down. Remember. Got it. Thank you. Okay, continuing. Yeah, the colors you can kind of see are starting to come and appear. I'm glad to get to see it. Yeah, the one from the one person that you said and we couldn't see it, when I turned on my second phone for streaming, because it's not like my real phone, it showed it there. But it didn't show it on any of my other accounts or on the professional thing, like the whatever, so I don't know. But yeah, thank you for telling me so I remembered it, yeah. Okay. Slowly peeling the rest. Record a little bit more. But yeah, reminder, if you are on Instagram or TikTok, I'm actually live streaming on youtube.com/TiffanyCosplay, and that is where I'm reading chat. So if you'd like to ask any questions, cosplay, anime, whatever, go there. So yeah. Yeah, I thought it was rude too. So my trick with airbrush painting and masking off sections, if you've ever had tape residue left or peeled up your paint, this is kind of how I do it, where I never apply masking tape directly to Plasti Dip. Masking tape will always leave a mark on Plasti Dip. It does, no matter what. And yeah, and then with masking tape, so I'll paint my coat of paint. I normally do a base coat before doing the actual paint coat. So for like the red colors, it was a base of, tell me it wasn't showing, a base coat of white before I did kind of the red pinkish colors. And then once that's done, I'll get my masking tape, and you never want to go for any of the painter's tapes. The painter tapes are shit. They don't work. And don't get generic tape. You want to actually invest in like the Scotch tape, the more expensive tape, unfortunately, but it works. And it works a little too well. So you have to get your tape, and basically you get it, you rip it off, and then you just lightly put it onto your pant legs and peel it off. And that's enough to basically make it so you can just put it on your piece and it doesn't remove any of your paint. You don't have any tape residue. So yeah, that's been my trick that I've done now for like 2 years without fail. And then applying your masking tape using tweezers helps a lot too. So besides peeling it off, I'll have it where I place it, and then for the back end, I'll use it to kind of push into those crevices. It works really well. Good, okay, but all good. Yeah. Okay, and then we've got a little bit in here. Write it down, write it down. Archage, thank you for the remember of 10 months. I greatly appreciate it. Much love. I will write it down. Heidi Gaming Father, welcome on. How are you today? Got it. Thank you. Yeah, hope y'all are doing well today. We are working on the Junker Queen knife from Overwatch, and it is finished painting, and now I'm removing all of the masking tape, and then we're gonna be doing a little bit of maybe touch-up paint here and there, but some detail painting and sealing it today. See, my color I had a really hard time getting this color for the grip, like the wrap part, and it is what it is. I wish I could get closer to it. I just could not get the correct brownish color, but I think it still looks good, and it doesn't look flat. I gave it a little bit of a kind of more fabric-like look to the paint. Almost 1 year. Yeah, 2 more months, and then you have a YouTube baby thing. Yeah. Adam, welcome on. How are you doing? I saw you were playing WoW earlier. Write it down, write it down. There we go. Somebody's got a year. Congrats. Thank you for the remember. Much love. I will write it down. Happy 1 year anniversary here on YouTube. I know everybody's gonna like start hitting that 1 year in the next month or two from when we opened it up. So write it down, write it down. Thank you also Real for the 13 months. Much love, and I appreciate the support. Okay, I got it. Thank you. Okay, click, and then continue to remove all of these. Yeah, the games I've been playing, I've really only been playing Grounded, but I took a break from it. I'm almost done with it. I have like the final boss left. Yeah, it's been so much fun. And then what else? I have Steam's doing their demo stuff right now. I forget what it's called, and I've got 2 demos downloaded that I'm going to be trying out tonight. Ah, yeah, look at that. Look at that. So nice. See that slight little was good. Was good. with Mercy. They're doing, what was it? The Wizard said something about it, and I didn't look too much into it, but they're doing a special Valentine's thing for Overwatch with Mercy and Genji. And I don't know exactly what it is, except you're getting like a new highlight video thing or something. This is the part I was talking about that I didn't do the design correctly. I forgot that this part was supposed to be closed in the back, and so this should have been red. And I didn't realize that until I did my last coat. But it still looks the same. But yeah, and I saw, ooh, that one was we're gonna have to do touch-up paint on that one. I didn't put tape right there, apparently. My bad. But I saw the new Mercy skin, the Bumblebee one. It's a no for me. Yeah, let's see, what else did I do? This weekend I put on a cosplay, because I don't do that much. People think I dress up all the time, and I really only dress up like once every 2 months or something for a day. And I really only dress up for conventions most of the time. But I got back into my Thor costume, and it'll be coming out this Thursday, a transformation video for how I get into the whole costume. Since I know y'all like those. And I did a few fun videos with it as well. So I'm not gonna spoil it, but hopefully y'all like it. Yeah. Let's see that one. Okay, almost have all of this uncovered. Yeah. How are you, Cliff? I'll be happy to have all of these props and things done. I'm also airbrush painting the keyblade that we made like almost a year ago now. That just has been sitting in the corner. It's almost done. It's got like 3 more colors I have to do with it. Once that's done, it'll be full force on our Genshin, as well as starting Lilith. Actually starting. I've already been making my patterns and things for it, but I'll be officially starting it then. So. The keyboard that was made in 2010. Not quite that old, but close. Close, yeah. Alrighty, did I miss any? So there is our blade. Shiny. Yeah. I'm gonna look at it to see what kind of touch-ups I gotta do. Looks like our blue is good. Thank you for the 10 members. I appreciate 10 month remembers. Much love. I appreciate it. Wasn't there for a long time again. Don't. Yeah. All good. Calden Bay. There you go. I still mispronounced it, but I really appreciate it. Notification soon on one of the things. I know. Whoosha! Sometimes I get the notification for the remembers before it makes the sound by like a long time. Okay. Got it. Thank you, thank you. Okay, so touch-up paint-wise, this one my silver got on there, so that one's gonna be a hard one to touch up because then I'm really gonna have to do that whole section. Write it down, write it down. There we go. There's the notification. Of course we're gonna be doing our black lines around. I think I'll be able to clean this up with the black lines here and here. But yeah, not too bad. So, nice and pretty. Yep. And cheers, guys. Thanks for watching. Okay. Let us do this. I'm happy with... So, Kraychuk sent me some more paint. And I normally have, like, their huge bottle of black. But they sent me a small one, too. And I love having, like, a small one with me. Because then I have a lot easier time of having it upstairs. Where if it's downstairs, like, I have this huge bottle I would bring up and do, like, tiny little bits. Always creates a mess. So. Nice and new. Ah, I already got paint on me. Of course I did. Why would I not? Yeah. I'm gonna pull up a reference image real quickly just to make sure on everything. Yeah, I'll say in general my colors I made it a little bit more brighter than normal. But I also did my screenshots of everything when it was in beta. So when the game wasn't out. But yeah, okay. And I tried to do when this paint was still wet. So I did a base coat of this silver and then I masked all this off. And then when I did this darker silver, I went back and I slightly scratched it to give it more of a metal-like look because that's what happens when you scratch metal that's darker. So I don't know if it comes up across on camera at all or not. But yeah. Sorry, this weekend, was that a bar or a show? That is, it's a once a month thing here, and it is a body positivity show that is kind of like a burlesque show, a trans and drag show, and it is so much fun. I love it, and this is my second time going to it. So yeah, but it was a lot of fun. I got pretty drunk. But yeah, it's just so much fun. They have different performers each time, and it's one of those where it's like, you only go, like, you have to be invited and know people to be able to go. So I'm really happy that I was able to. Yeah. And we'll be going again next month, because it's just that great. Okay, let's see. I ran out of my tiny little brushes, so see, this may be a little big. My other one is this one, but it's kind of dead. Kind of dead. Oh yeah, it was a lot of entertaining, or a lot of fun, and it was entertaining. Yeah. I can't share a lot of stuff with it, like picture-wise, obviously. I'll get in trouble. Let me see before I get this one. I think I can still use this one. This is one like I cut up a long time ago. So, yeah. Okay. Let me. Down I go. some details. Hopefully my hand will be steady. Lucky, yeah. Lots of fun, lots of fun. I'm a wee bit shaky again, but that's normal. I feel like the older I get, the worse my shakes are gonna be though. I'm gonna be like sitting here just like trying to make lines. But yeah, this is all Creatrix Colors airbrush paint, and I like to, when I do detail painting, use the same type of paint rather than switch to a different one, just so it gives an even look. If you switch to different types of paints, they have different shines to it. Even if you go back over and you seal it with a certain type of finish, it still just shows through. Especially with different types of airbrush brands too. So if you switch from like Createx to a different one, I don't mix paints, but if you were to do black of a different type, it has just a different color and shine to it. So I'm only doing it on certain sections, just to make them pop. And Blizzard has that too with their stuff as well. The nice thing about this paint though is it dries pretty flat and doesn't, like, it's very brush stroke friendly. As in, you don't see the brush strokes most of the time, even when you do lots of layers. Where other types of paints, like if you're using any acrylic paints, most of the time you will see the brush stroke if you're painting by hand. We're gonna move upwards more. I want to do the strap areas. But yeah, did anybody have anything exciting happen this past weekend? Or any news? I know we had somebody in our Discord was talking about their kid being upgraded from a crib to a normal bed, and that got no sleep. Tasty getting money back. Oh, that's good. I still have to do my stuff. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna actually have to go to, instead of doing myself, I gotta go get help since I'm in a different state, but because of the military, I'm like technically still part of Texas. So I'm not really sure where my company like is technically having to file. Yeah. Did you take notes on the color combinations in case you need to match? I do, but I don't do exact measurements, and when I'm mixing, I mix in my cap, my airbrush gun cap, so it's literally like that much paint at a time. And for doing small details, it's harder to create that same color when you're mixing with larger batches to do smaller ones, if that makes sense. Like most of the time with touch-up paints, I'll do something that's similar and you won't notice it, but if it is really, like if there was a real oopsie kind of thing, then I'll just redo that color by hand completely. And we're gonna do that for this part, so it won't look exactly like this, it'll be slightly different. been a while, yeah. 3-day power failure and internet. Oh my. Oh yeah, I was hearing that Texas had a lot of issues. Yeah. Blacked out. I haven't really had too many issues here, but it's also a state that's prepared for cold and has cold stuff, rather than the Texas cold of a week and then it's hot again. Okay, sorry, I'm always confused by Discord names if you're different on there and different on different platforms, because then I'm just like, I don't know. Guess what? What? Oh, I still cannot fully announce the con that I'm going to, or a new con on the list, but there is one that I'll be able to say soon. So look forward to that. That was loud. You bought a gaming laptop? Finally! So what's the first game you're gonna play on it? Besides the little mobile game that you've been playing? Potato gamer incoming. Nothing wrong with potato gaming. I've been playing a lot of Genshin. At least on my potato PC in the living room. It barely runs. And that's with Genshin on like the absolute lowest settings possible. Oh yeah, I also forgot I have, y'all know I really like Power Wash Simulator. And if you haven't played it, it's really relaxing. Like, it seems silly and stupid, but it's just really relaxing. And they did a free DLC for, I think, Tomb Raider it was? So it's been kind of cool. Doing the house, and that's the first area, and I know that there's supposed to be like dinosaurs, and I like dinosaurs. Yeah. I'm excited. I'm debating, do I want to do the inside area? I'd say probably. It'll just make it pop. It'll just make it pop. Only game you have is Hollow Knight. Yeah, that was the one I was talking about. But you want to try Apex and Overwatch 2. Okay. That should be fun. That's a bit of a difference type of games, but yeah. Just reminds me of my days of when I got my first, like, for going to college, I got my first Mac, and trying to play Diablo 3 on it, it was interesting. It worked, but that was like the only game I could play on it. thing is eating. But yeah, feel free if y'all have any questions on what I'm working on or other cosplay stuff, feel free to ask. It is a painting stream today. I was tempted to just turn on like Instagram Live for airbrush painting downstairs, but it's just so loud with the vents on. I'd have to do some type of warning where if you tune in, it's just like mute instantly or you're going to scream. Especially if you have any headphones on or anything. So just a game and you can download it. It's been a long time since you've had a gaming setup. I don't know. Well, I don't really know what type of games you like. Do you like puzzle games? Do you like simulators? Do you like shooters? I still think Grounded was really fun. I'm gonna just keep recommending that to people. Sometimes when I do my black line work, I'll use a Sharpie pen. But this one, a little bit more touch-up stuff and vibrant lines it needs. Paint dries pretty fast, which is nice as well. You can see a little bit more pop out, so. Oh yeah, exclamation point music, and that'll bring you to our channel we're listening to, I think, if it still works. Okay. Continuing. Just reminds me of The Wedding Singer. Oh, I'm still not up to date with The Last of Us. I'm still like halfway through episode 3. And supposedly the next one is coming out early or something? That's looking good. Friday, because Super Bowl? Okay. I'm surprised that they didn't just hold off for a week. Hi David, welcome on. Yeah, happy belated birthday. Make this part a little bit thicker of a line. I'm gonna do the other side too, make it a little thicker. That looks better. Okay. Then we've got this side. We're actually almost done with this one, besides the touch up on that one part. My hair is driving me nuts today. Ugh. But yeah, if you're just getting here, welcome. We are working on detail painting for the Junker Queen knife right now. This is all made out of EVA foam and then has been airbrush painted using an Iwata Eclipse airbrush gun, as well as Createx Colors airbrush paint. And then we are doing detail painting using airbrush paint as well. And then once this is done, we'll seal it. Bro, welcome on. How are you doing today? I think this is the song that always gets copyright claimed. The station used to be really, really good without having any copyright issues for YouTube, and now there's one song that always gets flagged now that I had to mute after. You're doing painting on your Transformers animated star screen? Ooh, very cool. Very cool. Well, I hope you have good painting stuff going on today as well. a steadier hand than me. Been better. How are you liking snow in the cold? Netflix really. Aw, thank you. Yeah, I hope you feel better soon for whatever issues are happening. But yeah, it's actually in the 40s today, so we finally got a little bit of heat. But the snow's been okay. I've been told by many people that this year we haven't got like anything. It's a very non-cold snow here, or like winter cold snow, whatever. And normally it is a lot worse. But February is supposed to be the worst month, supposedly. So we'll see. But painting has been very much difficult with all of the cold temperatures, because you can't paint in the cold. So having to heat up my room has been a lot of issues with trying to maintain the heat, and it's just like this night, honestly, I was supposed to finish, like there's no deadline with it, but in my mind, I always have like a mental deadline of when things need to be finished, and both the axe and the knife were supposed to be finished 3 weeks ago. So I just feel really behind on it, and a lot of it has been, well, I was sick a little bit, but a lot of it has been because painting, it's so hard to paint here now with the temperature. So now that it's in the 40s, it makes it where I can paint, and that's why I was able to get so much done yesterday. Because it didn't take as long to heat up the room, and then the heat, like, it stayed longer. I'm curious though, once it hits summertime, the heat will be no issue, but how hot the basement will be. Okay, make sure all your NBA comments are made during that song. Oh, right. Mild winter for sure, yeah. So we've got only about, in total since I've lived here for whatever long, 4 inches of snow. And typically the winter season here, I've been told, is like 36 inches of snow in total for the year. So yeah, and February is supposed to be the worst, but we're now in the 40s, so we may get all of a sudden a cold front again. Most likely, we might get some snow again, but I don't really know. I have like all these warm jackets, which are nice, and I have snow equipment, or like not snow equipment, but snow gear kind of things, and I'm ready to use it, but I'm also like I want to paint, so maybe hold off on it a little bit. Did I click this off? I don't remember. I did. Okay. Yeah. Well, you've still gotten a lot of snow though, Adam. I know Vermont just got like a ton or something. They got like the winter, or like all the temperatures up north. Y'all got in the negative 40s, I heard? Or it was supposed to be? I still need to do this outline. I'm gonna remix this. So I'm just using the cap for all the paint. Fun blizzard in Buffalo. Yeah. start warming up so then I can go do stuff outside. I haven't been here yet and been able to see anything outside. It's only been cold. And I'm ready to actually see what this state has to offer. I did happen to find though, so driving around just randomly, because I didn't want to go to, I ate dinner really early, like at 4:30. And I wanted to, for once, to eat dinner at a restaurant during a normal time. 5:15-ish? Not normal, but like at least when some more people would be there. So I drove around a bit and found this park, and it's been the first place here that I've been like, I can do photo shoots. Otherwise, I have not found a single place here yet that I've been able to be like, yeah, this can be a photo shoot location. So I'm happy about that. And I just don't know what it will look like during the summer. And it has a lot of parking everywhere. So I'm not sure how many kiddos will be everywhere. But it's got a lot of open space too, so I can walk away from people. But I'm excited for, there's like the west of Nebraska. It's a few hours away though. There is, oh yeah, I'm gonna repaint this color. Let us not, well, I don't want to paint the inner line yet. It's really cool, like rocky kind of landscape, kind of Monster Hunter feeling. And I'm excited to explore that area when it starts getting warmer. But I'm kind of thinking that would be a good spot for when I finish Lilith to try to do photo shoots there. Maybe. In my head, that's where I want to do it, but I've never been there, so. I prefer to, when I do my photo shoots, to scout out the place first, so that way I have a general idea of where the sun direction is, where it's going to cast shadows, and kind of figure out where I want it to be, where I can walk, because a lot of times when you're in cosplay, I'll bring other types of shoes, but you still have to walk to the location, and sometimes you just can't. So I like to explore it first, but we'll see. Yeah. Okay, and then the gear thingies. We're almost done with detail painting on this. I'm like trying to go a little slow just because I'm a wee bit shaky. And thanks guys for watching. Hope you are enjoying today's stream. If you are on Instagram or TikTok, I'm actually streaming on youtube.com/TiffanyGreenCosplay, and that is where I am reading chat and answering questions. So if you want to say anything, go there. And for those that are on YouTube, thank you. And don't forget to like the video while it is live to help with the YouTube algorithm, as well as don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you have not already. It is free. Oh, I'll say for next week's stream, it may be pushed back to Wednesday instead of Tuesday. I actually for once scheduled some appointments with doctors and things, and because it's military stuff, I have to figure out all of that stuff. But I have one Tuesday morning, so we'll see. Yeah. I've got also a food allergy one that's coming up. I'm excited to actually be officially diagnosed with whatever issues, since I had another reaction to a really spicy Asian seasoning thing. And figure out all of my problems. So. A little bit of details on the inside. This was a fun little project though for making. The knife was pretty simple, and it's something where I could potentially like make it into a kit if I wanted to. No, I didn't do this one. A little messy on these. That's good. Okay. Other side to finish. Yee! Thank you for subscribing and welcome to the community. I'm gonna keep saying I think I'm done, and then I'm gonna find another spot, because that's how it goes. Might be here next stream too, you think? Yeah, I'm surprised you're not working today. Normally, I thought you had Wednesdays off instead. It's like, I wish I could get in there, but otherwise, if I did that, you wouldn't be able to see the blue. Found another spot I didn't do. being at streams again? Yeah. As long as that means you're still able to make money though. And that you being at streams means you're not making money. So I don't know. Oh, yeah. I get flagged so many times on random stuff for TikTok. So I just always do it now. Like, I get flagged for if I'm showing like that much of my leg, I get flagged for sexual content. And I'm just like, there was nothing showing. Like, what the heck? And any type of weapon, any prop or anything, I get flagged. So I just always do it. The costumes that I can't show on TikTok really, Kane, they're like, it's an inappropriate costume, you're showing too much, even though I'm like fully covered from here down, it just doesn't look like it because it's a nude color. And then it says, okay, if that's passed, then it's like, oh, well, it's dangerous acts because of my two little foam, like, wacky stick daggers. And that one gets hit all the time. So does Asuka. Asuka from the front, like, they're just like, nope, too much skin showing. And it's only a little bit of legs that show. Yeah. So. But I heard that they were upping the age limit on TikTok. And that they were also having, like, a sexual content, like update or something? I'm not exactly sure. But I've seen full-on nudity on there, which I guess it gets flagged later on, but I don't know. You're stuck. You can't get gigs because we're waiting for see appointments that can be any day from today. Aw, I'm sorry. Yes, the fake body sticker. The sad thing is, for me, TikTok, it's my biggest platform, but I make $0 on it. Their whole payout thing, it doesn't work, so I can't. And, like, I've never really made anything on it anyway. But Instagram, like, that's where I make a good portion, just off of the same stuff that I put on TikToks. I don't know. I know, too much sexy leg. Yeah. Wait. I'm gonna show some ankle. Ooh. I think, what was it, like a week or two ago? Somebody got banned for doing that on Twitch for showing feet. It's like, okay. Crazy things. I think I can say that it is done, minus that touch-up spot. So for that, I'm gonna have to mix paint. So I'm gonna go downstairs real quick to the Dexter room and go get some paint, and I will be back momentarily. So yeah, back in a second, guys, and thank you for watching. Da papa. Cheers, 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 cheers. Wizard. Y'all are funny. Okay, let us attempt to remix that color real quick. The one thing, so brown is always a difficult color to mix because there's two ways you can make it. You can make it where the undercoat is more of a yellow purpley tint, or you can make it where it's more of a red base tint, and this one is more of a red base. So when you mix it with white, it turns everything to a pink kind of color. But I'm happy to have a brown base because I've always had to make them. And brown's like the most annoying color to make to me. Stretch time. Okay. Oh. Yeah, I have not been stretching lately either. Oh, the bird song. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with the knife, except for the part that I messed up on. It's my adaptation of it, I guess. I don't know. Oh, pop my neck. Oh, dying. Gotta say, it sucks getting old. Okay, let us attempt to mix this color then. We're actually doing really good on time. This one's like almost empty. I want to steal the ball out of it once it's done because I have other containers that if I'm painting a big color, like a large area, and I need a lot of a special made color, I'll pour it into a container. And typically what I'll do is I'll put some old drill bits in it, and then you use it to shake, and that is supposed to loosen up all the paint and kind of help mix it together. But I'm kind of curious what the ball is on the inside of this one. The two most used colors that I use for painting are white and black because everything I do has a base coat. And base coats are very important for airbrush painting. Okay. Let us mix. We're trying to get to ish color. It's going to be slightly different. By the way, you're not supposed to mix paint with your paintbrush, but whatever. The thing with this is, so it had a base coat that was like this color, and then I do where I spray black over it and I wipe it away and kind of scrub it, and that gives a more look of fabric. But we are pretty close to that. It's a little light. And I only need a little bit. But I do have to cover not just this, I gotta go all the way around. That's pretty close. Yeah, got a little bit to it, so. And for bigger areas, a lot of times I'll kind of like, not necessarily paint stroke it, I'll kind of blob it because the paint sticks better for the airbrush paint. That's a pretty close color to what I had on there. I don't necessarily think I need to paint the bottom one. I can have it as a slight two-tone. Looks pretty good. Silver is shining through just a teensy bit more. But I think that's good. Yeah. Pretty nice. So let's wait for that to dry, and then we'll do the final black little line that goes in between them. And then we can seal this. But for now, we can put it to the side. Over there. I keep having hiccups. Okay. And then next, we need to mask off these areas on the axe. So all of these parts we've already painted, and they're done. It's actually a really pretty color, but it's kind of hard to see. It looks darker than what it is right now, but it's a metallic, kind of really dark metally color. So, yeah. But we're gonna mask off these parts next, and then we have part of the handle to mask off after. So we will take our tape-a-maroo. Good enough. Smaller. The white thing coming out of the... Oh! It does! This thing right here. That's funny. Yeah, that is for Nilo, the skirt part, the ribbony part thingy that I did the video on. One day I'll actually get it correct. I'm in the story right now, like I'm up to date with everything, but I'm with the next, like doing all the underground areas in the final zone so far. The latest update. Trying to... You have like this little floaty sand collector thingy, and you're trying to upgrade it, and I've upgraded it twice now. But it's definitely different. The area is okay, but I'm not a fan of the music in the area compared to the rest of the Genshin soundtracks. Everybody complaining about their names. You say it Nilo to make it sound like the river. Don't know if that's correct. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, you got. I know your first name, but you're forever like that's. You gave me the address, and it's like, okay, this is Wizard, like, to you. Hopefully it gets there. Yeah, if I'm not in camera, please let me know. Nah, he's real. He'll forever be that. Even when I've met him in person, he's always real. But that might also be because I was never corrected for the longest time. And then I think he's like, actually I'm this, and it's like, wait, what? Like I didn't know. Update your name on Amazon for your packages. Everything should be addressed to the Wizard. That would be awesome. Now you're used to it, yeah. The funny thing when growing up, I've always been terrible with names. And in my phone, for me to remember somebody, I always had to put like a saying next to their name or like where I know them from. So everybody had these weird, like, description about them or something. Like, for Austin Adam, or not Austin, San Antonio Adam, he for the longest time was Adam Blue Hair in my phone, and I just changed him. I've known Adam for over 10 years now, and I just changed it this last, like, I think at Christmas time. I finally changed it. But yeah, it's funny. Now it's Adam and his partner. So. get back into like full on making costumes again. It's been a lot of fun doing all the airbrush painting for the Genshin costume, doing all of the fabrics, and I've been slowly 3D modeling all of the accessories and whatnot, and the plan is to test out the resin printer with all of her parts. It's kind of like a test cosplay for me. Like, I mean, I always am learning things for each of my costumes. That's like one of my main goals. But for this one specifically is like, that is, I can do it other ways, but I'm like really trying to push myself to learn it. Just the resin printer. Yee! Thank you for subscribing and welcome to the community. Yeah, if you're just getting here, welcome. My name's Tiffany of Tiffany Cosplay, and we are currently working on the Junker Queen Axe Carnage, and I am masking off all of the barbed wire areas that are finished. They are painted, and we're using masking tape right now. And we're also waiting for part of the knife to dry, and once that's dry, we'll do the finishing detail parts, and then we will seal it. So on the home stretch of things, which is nice. But yeah, feel free if you have any other questions about what I'm working on or the cosplays or anything, feel free to ask. Reminder, if you are on Instagram or TikTok, I'm actually live streaming on youtube.com/TiffanyGordonCosplay, and that is where I'm reading chat. So if you got questions, go there. Real quick. Yeah, we're good to finish this one. So push that to the side. Back to painting. Got a tiny bit of black paint here still. Even not dry yet. It's just like this tiny little line in between. Wait for that to dry, and then I will need to seal it. And for this, I'm going to be using I'll probably do a gloss, and then I'll probably, It's like Overwatch has the same shine on everything, though. I think we'll just do a same coat on the whole thing. kick my toe. Oh, I have a satin. We'll do satin. It's in here. Because I don't want to get something else. Now, goal is tomorrow to try to finish airbrush painting this. There's not too much left on this axe, actually. It's just all silver parts. But they're all different types of silvers. But metallics are always really fun to paint, in my opinion. Cool. Does anybody have any new animes that they're watching? I haven't really been watching anything for the last week. I think the only thing that I watched this last week was Spy X Family. I've been a bit behind on everything. It's just like slightly Dark Materials on HBO. What's that about? Football movies, because there is a big football game this weekend. Yeah, I wouldn't have known about the football game. I'm not interested in sports at all. Who's playing for it? So I can at least have general knowledge on it. 2 episodes, but it feels interesting. Long but interesting. Okay. Wow. Oh yeah, the what is it? Today the Harry Potter game comes out. Is anybody gonna be playing that? I've heard great reviews about it so far, but I haven't seen any gameplay. So I'll be watching tonight, probably a bunch of Twitch streamers. Kansas City Chiefs versus Philadelphia Eagles. Okay. Yeah, I've heard a bit of drama about it, but it's not about the game, per se, but we're not gonna get into that drama. So yeah, but can't wait to get home from work to play. Okay. You'll have to let me know what you think of it next stream. I was really hoping, because I saw stuff about it, but I normally I look into games and I do a deep dive kind of thing, but I just didn't for this one for some reason. And I was hoping, I didn't realize it was just single player, and I was really hoping it was like open world and I could play with other people and being all wizards and things like MMO, but yeah, sad day. Watch some playthrough for Police You. Website decided showing who streams it to blacklist them. Oh, interesting. I hadn't read that part. I did hear that if people were claiming to be in a, because it was certain time zones could play the game today, and that some people were trying to play it early and say they're in a different time zone and getting in trouble for that. But whatever. A few of the tapes I gotta put down a little bit more. They weren't sticky enough. Okay, and then the other side. It's like an awkward angle for the overhead view for this one. No interest in that game, not in the wheelhouse. However, having watched some streamers, the game looks really good. Okay. Game is only available for the deluxe pre-order people, but not to all players. Oh. Okay. does anybody know if you get to choose your house or if it's like randomly selected, or how that works? Oh, one other thing on the game. I did hear that for, they're doing like special, if you buy it for PlayStation, you get like an extra mission versus PC where you have to wait a year for that specific mission to be available on PC, which I think is silly. Today's open to okay. Sorting hat, but you can choose your house. Okay. I wonder how it tells. If it's just absolutely random or if you have to answer some questions beforehand for it to do it. Cheat sheets out there to guide you on how to get the house you really okay. Questions are asked in the game with hat. Okay. I'm curious what I would get. Time exclusives or just strict DLC exclusives? Looking for it. Oh. They did that. One of my favorite games on the PlayStation was, and it was, I think it was just PlayStation exclusive. I think it was called Infamous. And it was one where I had to play at my friend's house because I didn't have a PlayStation, and I played like both the first and the second one, but you could control lightning, and it was like everybody like got like these mutant power things, and it was a lot of fun. But I don't know if anything else had ever happened with it or not. Have I done a house test? No, I have not. They did a sequel, you think? Second? Okay. I've played two of the Infamous games, but I don't know if it was like the second one was the sequel that you're talking about, or if that was like a third kind of one, if that makes sense. So website you can be linked to the game where you go through the house quizzes and be used into game. Ooh, we should do that. Can you post it in the Discord, please? Yeah, I've seen a few people in Discord have been posting some cool little, how many animes have you watched and things like that, and I just haven't had time to do them yet. But for me, when it comes to like animes, if you've watched them, I'm so bad at names, I just like, I have to look them up and be like, oh yeah, I have watched this. Because there's a lot that I've just watched just because it was on Netflix and I watched it. You're Hufflepuff, Daniel? Do they have like a description of each house? I've seen all the Harry Potter movies, but like do they have like a description of this is what this type of person is kind of thing. No time for anime quiz. Too busy watching anime. Yes. How did you know? No, too busy being in a basement painting, honestly. All day, every day. Descriptions for the houses. No, you do not know them. You're being no helpful, Cliff. I'm a basement dweller. Don't judge me. Don't judge my troll life. Do you have any tips for applying tape on your 3D works after running? If I use tape when I go to remove it, some pieces of grout come off. So I assume for painting is what you're trying to do it for. For me, if you are airbrush painting, so I would treat it the same way that I would do with Plasti Dip. So all of this has Plasti Dip underneath this color. And I never apply masking tape to an unpainted surface. So if you're going to be painting, let's say this color here. So this I did like a base coat and it was white. And then after I got the final color that I want, I would mask off that one section and then go to the next one. Having airbrush paint on your surface will make it so the paint won't come off then, because it's a different kind of texture. And for taping, what I do is don't ever use painter's tape. It does not work, it's shit. So I actually use Scotch brand, and it's a little bit more expensive, but you can get it on Amazon. And this stuff, what you do is when you rip it off, you'll notice that I'm actually putting it on my leg. So from here, I put it on my leg, and that just gets the adhesive a tiny bit less sticky. And then I'll put it on, and only onto painted surfaces. Now, for doing grout, I don't know exactly, like, for me with 3D prints, I do sandable spray paint. So if you're doing like the grout first, then do sandable spray paint on top of that, and then sand. So like this part right here, just this section is 3D printed. And so sanding that, and then I do the Plasti Dip on top. But if you're not doing the Plasti Dip, it works the same way. And the sandable spray paint, after painting it, should be fine to put the tape on. Also, weather will affect your tape too. So if you're in Texas and it is really hot, the tape adhesive becomes more sticky. And you don't want the tape to be on too long. So if you're painting for multiple days, you want to make sure to bring in your piece in between, like, so it's not sitting out overnight, it's not baking in the 100-degree heat. Same with cold temperatures. Cold won't affect the tape from sticking to this, or like from peeling off paint. It'll affect the tape from sticking to the surface more. So you'll want to kind of keep it at a certain temperature. I hope that helps some. Wizard feels like Slytherin. Is that not sure if I would be a Gryffindor or Hufflepuff. Wait, is there, how many houses are there? There's Hufflepuff, Gryffindor, Slytherin. Is there a fourth one or is there only 3? I don't remember. Yeah, feel free if you have other cosplay questions or things, y'all can always ask, even if we're talking about something else. We just talk about whatever here. One that likes, no, that's, so the sock thing you're talking about is it Adobe or whatever? And that's where if you give a sock to their specific, that specific creature breed, it's like basically saying you're a person and no longer like a slave thing, so you're freeing them, is what my interpretation of it was. Please correct me if I am wrong about that thing. For Harry Potter. So yeah, but that's where that sock thing is, I think. Gotcha, need to find a place where you can use your spray can, airbrush. It's definitely the outside. Okay, yeah, so for temperature wise, with airbrush painting, you want it to be no colder than 65 degrees Fahrenheit. If it's colder than that, then it doesn't work. It causes issues with your airbrush gun. For Plasti Dip, it needs to be 70 degrees or higher for it to adhere. I'll say when it was below that for this, it was actually coming off of the surface. So you would want to look up, typically on the back of your can, it should say the ideal temperature for that specific product, whether it's whatever grouting that you're using, and then follow that if possible. But doing tests also helps. Gryffindor, but it really is fine line between them and Slytherin. Gryffindor, Slytherin, Ravenclaw, that's the other one. If the boss of Dobby gives him a sock, it makes him free. Yeah. Cliff. Never tried Plasti Dip. So I only use Plasti Dip on 3D printed stuff if I'm Plasti Dipping other parts. So if it's a full 3D printed project, I won't use Plasti Dip. But for instance, this piece, so this is 3D printed here, but this is foam, this is foam. This was actually Warbler. And then for 3D printing and for Warbler, I like to use sandable spray paint to sand off everything and make it flat. But when doing EVA foam parts, you want to do Plasti Dip. So I like to give an even finish through all because this is foam on top of some other surface. So it looks the same. Otherwise, it's very noticeable if one is a different type of primer than the other. But if you're just doing 3D printing, I wouldn't recommend Plasti Dip as a main one, as it peels off of the surface easier. But you can still do it. You can also use, which I have some of it coming to test out, Smooth On has a, it's like a, I haven't used it yet, but I'm going to, and it's like a paint-on for filling all of the stair-stepping for your 3D prints. And that's another thing you can use, but I don't have too much information yet on it, just because I'm going to be working with it. And then I'll give you advice on it. If you give an article of clothing, they are free of their obligations to serve a wizard family, but most house elves don't want to be freed. I didn't know, like, they were considered elves. I think of elf and I think Lord of the Rings, not... I'm thinking the really pretty Lord of the Rings, like, pointy ears, like, yeah. And then Dobby, like... a little bit of a different look, but yeah. I've always appreciated Harry Potter. I've never read the books. Honestly, they were too difficult for me when I was younger for reading, especially with all of my dyslexic and stuff. But I always liked the movies. And all my friends were like obsessed with it. But clean socks, yeah. No, you work with all types of materials. Need to learn better the warp. Okay. Yeah, Warbler, I don't typically work with Warbler too much. I wanted to try a different process with this one. So this is actually just this body part here, not including any of this other stuff. This was a base of pink insulation foam that has been basically sandwich wrapped with black Warbler. And I wanted to try that out instead of EVA foam wrapping it. And it worked out pretty well, but Warbler, if you've worked with it before, it is very hard to get a perfectly flat surface no matter what. Because even if you put it on a flat surface, your fingerprints can sometimes leave a slightly little dip into the surface. And I wanted to try with Warbler doing the sandable spray paint, which is what I use for finishing all my 3D prints. And it worked out pretty well. It took those 3 coats for it to get perfectly smooth for the most part. There's still a few tiny little dips, but it's not too bad. But other ways for finishing Warbler would be just using wood glue. It just looks meh, so. Called XTC3. I think that's what it's called. Something like that. Yeah, I'm always trying out new, different processes of doing things. And a lot of it also just depends, like, if it works for one person, it may not work for another person. And it's nothing against, like, the material or sometimes not even the use. It's all about location of where you're doing it and the temperatures and environment that you're in. So some products, if it's too humid, it just won't work at all. Or like if it's too hot, too cold, it really just depends. You're replaying Mass Effect series. Streamer friends started playing it for the first time, and you got pulled. Wait! When have you been able? Did you get your like PC fixed, or are you doing this on your laptop? I thought you weren't able to play games again, Cliff. Orbital just sounds like a... What? Taping always takes a bit of time. You can spend hours taping off a section to paint something in 5 minutes to remove it all in 2 seconds. Laptop, your video gaming is limited, so older games you can play as long as they don't. Okay. Oh, thanks guys for watching. A reminder that if you are on Instagram or TikTok, I'm actually live streaming on youtube.com/TiffanyGordonCosplay, and that is where I am reading chat. So if you have questions, go to YouTube. And if you are new here on YouTube, love to have you as part of our community. So subscribe to the channel, it is free. And don't forget to like the video while it is live to help with the YouTube algorithm. We do a wide variety of streaming here for the crafts. It just depends on what I'm working on. So right now we're doing some painting, and we'll work with Worbla, EVA foam, 3D prints, sewing, and you get to see all the behind the scenes of like how I make something rather than a little 2-minute video tutorial kind of thing. And you can ask questions. Kind of play Tower Fantasy and Genshin, but tends to shudder. I haven't heard anything of Tower of Fantasy anymore. Like, when it first came out, everybody was hyped because they were thinking it was the next Genshin, but I haven't really seen anything else on it. Got the last one. I'm gonna get a drink of water real quick. Oh yeah, we have another thing to tape that I forgot about. Off to work. Have a great night. Thanks for stopping by, Adam, and have a wonderful rest of your work day. Hopefully it goes smoothly. Yeah, I'm a bit tired today. It's like partying way too hard on Sunday, and I didn't get any sleep Saturday night, so I was just exhausted, and I'm still kind of tired from it. Yeah. section of our community here that actually talks in chat support cosplayers for the most part. We have some that are actual cosplayer makers, but a good portion of them are supporting ones. That one day I will slowly convince them to do a cosplay. But all are welcome here. I try to make this a safe place for people to come and relax, hang out, and talk to like-minded people. Same with my Discord, !Discord, that anybody can join. !Music, and we'll give you the channel that we're listening to. Thanks, love. Okay, did you get that all? Tiny bit. Hi Colin, well fun. Question, are mechanical wings worth it? It depends on the character. I think if the character does not have... If the character doesn't really have moving wings, I don't think it's necessary. And I think a lot of mechanical wings, it's a big impact, but they don't always, craftsmanship-wise, turn out the best. Most people do the mechanical frames that go out into an M, and it's very obvious of the whole setup and where all the pieces are, and the wings look very flat most of the time, in my opinion. And for smaller conventions, if you're doing a cosplay contest for that, they are a lot of times very big impact ones, but for larger conventions, for cosplay, larger cosplay contests, a lot of times they're judged a lot harder because most judges know what it takes to make them. And you have to really hide all of the mechanisms for moving it and not make it look like you're wearing a harness setup. But it just depends on if you want to make them or not. Wings in general, for larger wings, they do add weight and they can get really heavy. It is a lot cheaper and a lot less weight if you don't want them to move, and you want them to just be stationary in one position, one shape. So depending on how large of your wings, that may also depend on if you want to make them move or not. For setups, you can make them out of PVC and have them open, but a lot of those are more rickety and more likely to fall apart rather than making them out of like aluminum tubing kind of stuff. And those can really add weight, and especially for contests, you can tell how much you've been hunched over, and it's appreciation for how much like you're gonna be wearing that, but you can also tell after like 5 minutes if it just weighs too much and you can't wear it. So just depends on a few things, but they can be cool. So okay, this one, we're done masking it off. Put you over here. To seal, should we seal? Yeah, I think we can. I've got cardboard boxes we can use. My paper is downstairs right now, so not you. Good thing about moving is you always have boxes everywhere. sense. Your next cosplay is from the book series and have like 12-foot bat wings and trying to gauge it. So I would recommend getting, if you can, print out, like, go on Adobe Illustrator, make an 8.5 by 11 square, whatever your printer paper is, and then put to scale, like just an image of the wings, and then copy that box all the way around so you know where to print it, and then tape it all together and lay down so you can get an idea of how large those wings are. I would say another thing to consider is transporting those wings. Are you going to wear them at home? Or if you're going to actually go somewhere with it, because you're going to want to figure out how you're going to be able to transport them in a car or maybe fly with them. And that might also factor in your decision on how you make it, or if you scale it down a little bit. A lot of times with wings for me, because I'm tiny, I'm 5'2" and I'm really petite, a lot of times I'll make the wings a little bit smaller than what they are just because they look so massive on me in general. Yeah. So if you aren't able to print it, you can also just get some brown paper from like Home Depot or something, like the painter's paper or cardboard boxes, lay it out and draw the line of the shape of the wings that you want, and then lay there and have a picture so you can see scale with YouTube. I'm gonna real quickly go and get my specific paintbrush for sealing, and I'm gonna hit the restroom. So I'll be back momentarily, guys. Thank you for watching. Back in a second. Okay. Gonna start working on Link's sword and shield. Have fun with the stream and a nice work. Results. Thanks for stopping by and good luck on your props. Yeah. I'm slowly bring this paintbrush back to life. Great idea. Definitely thought about travel 6'2", so you don't want them to appear too small. Okay. Yeah, let's see. For me with wings, so a lot of wings, personally, they hang down really low, and I always wear heels. And you can find shoes that have like a little bit of a height to them, and that helps with, I mean, you're already pretty tall, but that would also help with the level for the wings if you need them to go down lower. Transportation wise, something to consider, you're gonna want a handler to help you with that costume for wings. Never go to a con with wings by yourself. Don't be the person that just walks around with your wings either in large crowds. Take them off. So you want to be able to, at the convention, have your handler be able to take them on and off if they're super like stationary large ones. Otherwise, just you're gonna stand in one spot and not do anything. For me with my wings, I actually have, it's from PAX South, and I forget the booth. And you bought something from them, and you literally got like a bag that was, I think it was like 3 feet by like 2.5 feet, and it had a huge strap, and it, like on me, if I had it on my shoulders, it just about touched the floor. And I put my wings in there, walking from place to place, or well, Jesse will carry it, and then we'll put it on wherever I'm stationary. But definitely, once you figure out the shape, the size of your wings, don't make them right away. Figure out how you are going to be able to disassemble them and be able to transport them before you make anything. So if you're going to want to do like a CPVC method, or if you're going to do a metal frame, how are they going to be able to come apart at the con or in your hotel room? And do research on that first. And then of course your harness will be a very big thing. A lot of people who don't do a 3D printed harness will do a corset harness, and yes, as a guy you can wear a corset too, totally fine. And that's where you have like the corset around, and then you make either a V frame or a U frame that is inserted into your back, into the corset, and that's what your wings are stationary on. So it just depends. Clip. All right, that. We'll see how alive it is. I haven't used it yet since I've moved. So see if I can even open it. It's only been a few months, so it kind of sealed itself again. Let me get a paper towel. Yeah, we're using right now, this is going to be what we're using to seal the paint in our prop. It also makes your surface have an even consistent look and shine to it. And this is Createx Colors UVLS Satin, and it's clear. You can apply it with an airbrush gun, but I like to apply it by hand just because I can get more control about where it goes. Awesome. Glad you got that figured out then. Yeah. Other things to figure out after that, once you figure out kind of your bone structure. So you want to make the bone structure first, and then keep in mind that wings, the weight adds up really fast. And for wing placement in general, so I'm going to be sideways real quick so you can see. With wings, your balance is perfectly side by side from you. So I would recommend having your wings like this, so that way, especially if they're really far out, you don't fall over. If they are anywhere facing back, like behind you, you're gonna lean back and it's gonna hurt a lot, and you're gonna end up walking around like this to keep balance. So I would recommend having it where they're directly aside of you. Or if you have a shape, have it where it's evenly balanced. Like if you want them to cocoon around you, have it where it goes backwards and then around, so the even point is where you are, if that makes sense. I like wings, by the way. I've done just a few. I know what issues I've had with them, so yeah, I don't want you to have those issues as well. Okay, time to seal, and my paintbrush is getting a little gross now. I've only used it for a while. But yeah, considering the materials you want to use too, if you're using EVA foam, that's going to weigh a lot. Even using fabric can weigh a lot in different things. So you may have to change the design of how you want them to look based off of weight too. Alrighty. To seal! Okay. And then this just will give it all an even, consistent look to the piece. Applying this stuff though, you don't want it to be too thick. If there's any, like if the surface looks white at all, it will dry a milky color. So you want it to be a thin coat, but fully cover it, and then it will dry clear. And I do this onto everything, whether it's airbrush painted or not. And it'll also protect it from the sun, from fading. And they have other versions too. They have a matte finish, they have a gloss one. But this is my favorite, is the satin one. The satin and the gloss though, for EVA foam, kind of look the same when they dry. But on other types of surfaces, it's noticeable. So like 3D printing, you can notice the difference. Magnets to make your wings okay. Careful with magnets for wings though, just because sometimes you want to make sure you have really strong magnets then. Like I'd have something that, if it's a magnet, have it where it's like a male and female that inserts and then inside connects with a magnet, so you have that double joint. Imagine Tiff liking wings. It's almost like her logo has wings in it. I don't even know how many wings I've made, technically. And each one I've done differently, too. I should do like a tutorial video on wings some point. Yeah, shields can be tricky for disassembling. My Charlotte one, the really huge shield, I was originally planning on having it disassembled, but it would have taken away from the design, so I decided not to and only have it where I take it to conventions that I can drive to. that side. You'll definitely start to see where it's sealed and where it's not. But with metallics, you see it a little bit, but with non-metallics, you can definitely tell. Oh yeah. For travel with cosplays, the biggest advice I can say is invest in like suitcases or travel trunks for your cosplays. So whether you want to pay for a large size box, like large trunks, they cost more. It's like $100 to fly with, but you can get your thing there. Or if you want to have like, I have a Pelican case, and those travel, they have their trunks that have a small top, because a lot of times with suitcases, you have it where they open, and then your suitcase is split in half. Where a travel trunk, you have the whole thing, and the top's only that big, it's just a lid. So you have more space to put things in. And once you have the measurements, or like your travel, whatever, it's a suitcase or if it's a trunk, you can get your dimensions then for where your sections are to separate your piece. So if you have a suitcase, you can measure the diagonal line, and that's where if you're making like a staff, you know how long can each stick part be to fit in your suitcase. Make it 3 separate sections and have the cross and lion head hold everything. Yeah, that could work. One thing you can do is by having it all hold together, you can have for reinforcement, because a lot of people don't see the back of the shield, is if you're having it in 3 different sections, have a smaller shield behind it that is like, I'm gonna draw. Y'all know me in words. Okay, it's drawing time. So if your shield, can you see that? No. Let's do a pin. Let's do a pin. Does this work? One of them bound to work. Here's a Sharpie. That works. Okay, so if you have your shield, boop, boop, I'm guessing you're gonna separate it something like that, and then you've got, let's say there's some type of a design, blah blah blah, and then your head. You make that one piece, one piece, one piece, one piece. On the back of that, making a smaller shield that's like that, that velcros to the back. So if you have piece of Velcro, 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 or however many. And then you can have the front part where you've got the head of the line and all those pieces. You can do Velcro, 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 and that'll kind of help hold it together more. You can also do just like armor pieces where you have, so like if this is your two pieces together and there's your seam, on the back of it you can have a piece of 2mm EVA foam that's like a strap. Have it where it is attached to this piece, so glued permanently, but not on here, and have this where it's Velcro on that side. So all you have to do is take that apart, and that can also help hold it. But I would, if you're gonna do this one, I would have something also to hold it, just because if it's a very large shield, you want more surface area for it to hold together. I'd also recommend, kind of how I did my Charlotte's shield, I had that one where the handle was on both sides, and I actually put my arm through here and I would grip onto here, and that helped hold it together, and that would help keep it as one piece as well, where if you're holding it with just, let's say that one's not there and you're only holding it with that, it's gonna make it a little bit more wonky and loosen your grips on the pieces. Hope that helps. Oh yeah, the Pelican cases, they're expensive, but they are well worth it. I have traveled so much because of cons and things that airlines, they just destroy them. And that one, I'm for sure, I know it will get there. But it's an investment piece for sure. Yeah, have a good one, Ro. Okay, we gotta wait a little bit. Oh, I missed a spot right here. I can see with the shine where I hit and I miss. We gotta wait a little bit for it to dry, and then we'll flip it over and do the other side. In the meantime, we will continue taping. Okay. Camping! Hi, lovelies! Oh, you wanna come say hi to everybody? Yeah? Easy? Little Kathy? It's funny because everybody keeps saying she looks so grumpy and so mean. And it's like, no, she can't help it. She has no teeth, so she just looks grumpy. But she's so sweet. So sweet. She's the sweetest kitty I've ever had or known. Yeah, you're a good girl. It's like all night, I was just watching a show and she just lays on top of me. Off camera? Am I off camera? No, I'm on camera. Yeah. You're smelly though. You're smelly. I always like her belly too. She'll just sit there and I'll just kind of push her over and she'll just lay down, and then I can just pet the belly and lay on it, and she's so good. Yeah, why are you so smelly? Why do you smell smelly? Yeah? Are you a good girl? Are you a good kitty? Good girl. You want me to give you a food escort? Let's go to your food. Yeah. Yeah? Is this your food? You didn't eat very much of the other food. Oh, there you go. The shadow of her face that makes Fluff look like that. Yeah. All right. To continue. So this is for the axe, the bottom part. It's actually really a really nice weight. So obviously this part's painted, so we need to mask that off. Then I can paint the next one. It's actually really spiky though. I'll have to be careful when I package this to ship it, just so the spikes don't break. Okay, where did my tape go? Where's my tape? Make sure she's not behind me. And thanks again, guys, for watching. Hope you are enjoying our stream today. Hopefully this will be the last time I stream working on these Junker Queen pieces. Hopefully they will be done by next time and we'll be on Genshin. When we were talking about Overwatch earlier, I really liked the Doomfist. The Doomfist new skin, where it's One Punch Man. She's like, yes! And then after that I was like, deep dive, like, please say there's another season of One Punch coming out soon, but I couldn't find anything. I love that anime. Yeah. Yee. Welcome to the channel and to the community. Didn't tell me I wasn't on camera. There we go. So bad at it. Yeah, skin looks really cool. Okay, that part is covered. Oh, now to this one. There's already cat hair everywhere. Okay. Voila. So anybody have any plans for the weekend? The middle of a fight. Okay. Cliff, you're gonna get fired. You're not doing your job correctly. No, you're good. It's kind of hard to keep this centered when I'm constantly like moving it back and forth. But for those that are just joining on Instagram or TikTok, I'm actually live streaming on youtube.com/TiffanyCosplay, and that is where I'm reading chat. We are currently working on 2 commissions right now for my friend's company from Glass by Groves, and this is for Junker Queen from Overwatch 2, specifically the knife and the axe. Did he win? Use lightning, okay. I mean, as long as you won the match, then it's okay. If you didn't, then there'd be problems. Yeah. We're actually gonna get like everything that I wanted to get done today, I think, on stream. Yeah. Okay, that's done. Let's see how this is. I'm gonna go ahead and do the second side before we head on to the last bits. Again, we're sealing the knife for this, and we're using the Hairtex Colors UVS Satin Clear. Battery's about to die. Oh boy. I always like this song. So for those that are curious on the shine difference, so you can see, well, let's see what's gonna be the best part. I mean, basically shines right there and not here, and that's what it's still slightly wet. But from here to there, it's like the blade not done, the blade done. Grown up because late taxes are waiting. Yeah. I need to do mine. Space Wizard game and you have a lightning wand? Okay. if you were making it yourself, does that sort of decision come up for commissioning the prop? No. I'd say for this one, I didn't want to do leather because Overwatch, with their props and stuff, it visually, like, a lot of times they don't look like leather. It looks more plastic shiny, especially with Overwatch 2. And it doesn't look how it's designed. The fabric sections, they don't, at least for these props, some props or characters from the game do, but these don't look like fabric too much. They just look like shiny parts. So that's kind of the decision on that part. But also attaching it there and there just kind of, it would look very different in the end. That's kind of my feel on it. I don't know if that's too much of an explanation, or like not enough of an explanation or whatever, but it's, yeah. Choose my materials that I use. Typically I'll look at a design and then in my head I already have, if I can visually see it, then I know I can make it look like that in real life. If I can't and it's just like a cloud of I'm not sure, then it doesn't typically turn out well. And how I envisioned this was dumb. Trying to understand the decision process and didn't know how to phrase it without being like, why not do... Oh no, it's all good. Okay, I think we are... There's a spot I missed. Get down there. We are good. Okay. Done. Done done. Now I just have to wait for it to dry. And yeah. My answer is good. Okay. Yeah, no, questions like that are all totally fine. I know people are always curious of like, why do you choose this material and not this one? And that's okay. To be fair though, a lot of times it's just like, I didn't feel like it as an answer as well. Like in general, when I'm going to be designing a costume or a prop, I sit there and honestly, I'll sit like in front of reference images. I'll gather a bunch of reference images. Sometimes I'll look at some fan art so that way I can be inspired by like other people's interpretations of it. Sometimes I'll look at other people's cosplays too, just to see if like, oh, somebody tried it this way and it worked really well. Somebody tried it this way and it looks okay. And kind of in my head figure out like what kind of way I want to do it. And then after staring at like a costume for like an hour or so, I kind of figure out in my head, without necessarily trying to, I figure out how, like what materials I'm going to use for each part. And I can just look and like, I'll sit without even realizing it and I'll go through, okay, for making this spike, if I make this out of Warbla, it's going to look like this in the end because I know what my skill level is going to look like if I was to make this out of Warbla. Or if I was going to make this out of foam, how would this look in the end? It's going to look sanded, I'm going to have to use certain thicknesses. Or if I 3D print it, how is it going to look if I clean it up? And so I kind of have a general idea of how it's going to look already with certain materials. And then based off of that, I kind of make my decision of if I'm going to use X, Y, or Z to make it. Yeah. It just depends though. Yeah. No, it's all good. I like getting questions from y'all. So yeah. It also makes me question and think of like, oh, why did I do it? And it makes me think, so. Sometimes I won't even really know until I explain it and say it out loud. Okay, we're gonna finish wrapping this. Won't take us too long. I'll say sometimes I also think about for what is the outcome that I want for the piece that I'm making. Like, do I want to, am I making the piece for me? Am I making the piece as a tutorial? Am I making this a piece for somebody else? And then I'll kind of decide also what materials. So for tutorials, it's better if a piece is fully one material, like EVA foam, and I'm not using 3D printing with it or using other types of materials, just because it's more stuff to do. So. I'm not a duder. I'm a female. But welcome to the stream. Yeah, we're finishing up wrapping off or masking off a painted section for the Junker Queen's axe. A little bit more on this one. Okay, and then I'm going to wrap a tiny bit around just because it needs some reinforcement tape. And then we have two more pieces. It's just this part and this one. So So this is where I use the back end to kind of chip in. Must be something happening across the street. There's tons of people showing up. Oh, okay. I am getting hungry. Tonight I'm doing Thai food and I'm really excited. I'm gonna do pad Thai. What is everybody else doing for food? Okay, and then the last section. You don't like dress Tiff as Supreme Leader Tiffany. Okay. Like the only person that we're bowing down to is Searches, the master of all the poop in the land. He's been so bad lately. He never pees on the floor, and he's been the last few days. I changed his litter to a different brand, and he's just like, no, I don't like this. And he's been so mad, and it's just like, aw, grumps. You have leftover rice, beans, yeah. Looking for pizza orders. I feel like every time somebody's always having pizza. Or they make the decision after I talk about it, so. Alright, there's our last piece. So that is finished. Ready to paint, and we got everything I wanted done. Yay! So yeah, but I'm happy with the knife. Hopefully TikTok doesn't block me for showing that because it's now painted, because TikTok hates me. So yeah, but that is gonna be it for me today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you were on oh, my phone turned off on that anyway. That's okay. If you were on TikTok, thank you for watching. And I do live crafting streams on YouTube, and that is actually where I've been talking to chat. So if you want to join us for one of our other ones, go to YouTube. I also have tons of tutorials over there that aren't TikTok tutorials. They're like actual tutorials. So yeah. But for everybody here on YouTube, thank you so much for watching. If you are new to the channel, welcome. My name is Tiffany of Tiffany Great Cosplay. I am a full-time costume and prop fabricator as well as educator here on YouTube. Would love to have you as part of our cosplay building community, so subscribe to the channel and don't forget to like the video. It helps with our YouTube algorithm. A big thank you to Daniel, Archurge, Adam, Real, and I can never pronounce your name. I think it's Coldham Bay is what you said to say. For all being re-members, and I really appreciated all the financial support for helping me continue to do this as my full-time job. But yeah, we just worked on all the Junker Queen stuff today, and I'm hoping we won't be working on it next stream. Next stream will most likely be on Tuesday. If not, it'll be on Wednesday. I do have an appointment in the morning on Tuesday, so depending on how late that goes will depend on if I stream that day or if we stream on Wednesday. But I'm hoping we will be working on our Genshin cosplay, probably doing some sewing or some 3D modeling cleanup stuff. So yeah, but hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you for watching and much love. Yee! Bye-bye people here and goodbye people here. Wuja, 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 and